Time is 8:41 p.m. Good evening. The news headline: Boko Haram sponsors in big trouble as US agrees to help Nigeria identify them. The news in full: Boko Haram sponsors may have started looking over their shoulders with more intent as the United States expresses readiness to help Nigeria with identifying them. This promise was made on Monday by the US ambassador to Nigeria, Mary Newland. While speaking during a meeting with journalists in Abuja, the envoy was asked if the US was ready to help Nigeria identify sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria. In response, she disclosed that talks were ongoing on that matter. Leonard said that it is something we are very eager to partner Nigeria on. I have had at least 3 conversations in the last month on this subject. I wouldn't like to go into details. She used the opportunity to dismiss the notion by some Nigeria that the relationship between Nigeria and the US would crash as happened in Afghanistan, stressing that the two countries have a strong bilateral relationship unlike that of Afghanistan. The envoy said that I hear people making the analogy with Afghanistan a lot. It does not match up. When you listen to what President Biden said on how troops went to Afghanistan in the first place, it was because they were in a horrible tragedy. Over 3,000 Americans were killed. That is a different construct. The sovereign nations who have had strong bilateral relations, I don't actually think the two match up. Also speaking, the commander, US Air Forces in Europe, General Jeffrey Aragian, told journalists that the purchase of Tucano fighter jets was an opportunity to cement the US relationship with Nigeria as well as curbing insecurity. He said the A-29 Super Tucano gives us an opportunity to reconnect our relationship with Nigeria. Meanwhile, Nigeria's battle against insurgency has taken a new twist in recent weeks with the surrendering of Boko Haram fighters in thousands. This turn of events has largely polarized the country, with a section of the country believing accepting surrendering terrorists would backfire and may land Nigeria in the same place as Afghanistan. Borno State Governor Babangana Zulum, on his part, is wary of plans to reintegrate the repentant terrorists back into the society. He explained that the choice is between an endless war or to cautiously accept the surrendered insurgents. He admitted that the state is in a difficult situation over the reintegration of repentant insurgents. He noted that accepting repentant insurgents has the risk of offending feelings of victims, which may lead to rebellion, adding that there is also the risk of insurgents returning to their old ways if they are rejected. The governor said the situation requires careful analysis, which will consider the input of stakeholders from communities to review the pros, the cons, and implications of the surrender. He said, we in Borno are in a very difficult situation over the ongoing surrender by insurgents. We have to critically look between two extreme conditions and decide our future. We have to choose between an endless war or to cautiously accept the surrendered terrorists, which is really painful and difficult for anyone that has lost loved ones, and difficult for all of us, and even for the military whose colleagues have died, and for volunteers, he said. No one would find it easy to accept killers of his or our own parents, children, and other loved ones. In the last 12 years, we have been in this war and we have lost thousands of fellow citizens. We don't know the whereabouts of thousands of others. We don't know whether they are alive or dead. On my way traveling to Gwaza and Bama, I saw many people cultivating their farmlands by the roadside, and this is an indication of emerging peace, which we have to sustain in order to salvage our people. However, like I said, we must come together to carefully analyze the two extremes and come up with a workable framework. Governor Zulum further said he will engage in high-level consultations with President Muhammadu Buhari, the service chiefs, resident security heads, traditional rulers, the National Assembly, and other stakeholders to come up with a framework on how to move forward. The time is 8:46 p.m. The analysis. It has been said that the US has agreed to help Nigeria identify the Boko Haram sponsors. The promise was made on Monday by the US ambassador to Nigeria, Mary Leonard. She was actually speaking with journalists in Abuja of recent, and she was questioned that how is the US ready to help Nigeria identify the sponsors of terrorism in the country. And while she was talking about that, she disclosed that she had been having several talks on this same issue, and that the country, that is the United States, are actually eager to partner with Nigeria as per the terrorism in question. But she said that she would not like to go into details because 3 conversations has been on in the last 2 months on this particular subject. She quickly took the opportunity to dismiss the notion by some Nigerians that the country Nigeria might end up in the same scenario of Afghanistan, partnering with the United States and so on. She said that these 2 cases are different and there is no match-up between the analogy. She says that President Biden of the United States actually has a different case with the Afghanistan because over 3,000 Americans were killed in Afghanistan, and that is why some of the troops of the United States of America were sent down to Afghanistan. So there is a different construct here, and the sovereign nation have strong bilateral relationship. That is, Nigeria and the United States have a bilateral relation that is quite different entirely from that of Afghanistan and the United States. The commander of the US Air Forces in Europe, General Jeffrey Harrigan, also spoke to some journalists that the Nigerian government just purchased a Tucano fighter jet, and this was another opportunity to cement the relationship between the US and Nigeria. Therefore, the Borno State governor as well has said that they are doing their best to come to a common agreement on whether to reintegrate the repentant Boko Haram into the society, considering the 2 facts that yes, it will pain those who have lost their people, but yet they cannot allow these Boko Haram people to go back to their old ways.